Bullying continues to be an issue on social media. According to the iSafe Foundation, more than half of teenagers say that they have been bullied online. More than 25% of teens say they've been bullied repeatedly through their cell phones. But there is hope out there. Today, Instagram announced a new tool that it's using to combat the harassment. Reporter Cole Sullivan joins us now to show us exactly how it works. Cole?
Brandon, in one of his first moves since taking the job last week, the new head of Instagram rolled out these tools, and he says there's no room for bullying on the social media platform. It's one of the most popular social media apps, used to share almost 60 million photos per day. And now it's got a new tool aimed at preventing cyberbullying.
Since Instagram tends to skew toward more younger audience, it's really important to see that the platform is starting to take more progressive steps toward protecting some of their most vulnerable users.
Brandon Boatwright is a grad student who works in UT's Social Media Command Center.
It's really fascinating how advanced the concept of machine learning is being applied to social analytics.
So here's how it works. If you go live on Instagram from your phone, it'll ban comments that could be bullying.
You know, we don't have the nuts and bolts behind it, but it's primarily based on text-based searches.
But now they're expanding from just looking at text to also screening photos.
So that we're able to understand this particular picture means that there's cyberbullying, prevalent in this discussion, and we need to be able to remove that from the conversation.
And it's not just removing bullying. The platform also introduced a new kindness camera.
Social media is kind of this landscape of extremes where there's extreme cyberbullying in some cases. So how do you combat that with extreme kindness and niceness?
It encourages sharing support with friends as social media companies try to emphasize the positive.
Social media companies have a very difficult task ahead of them of regaining legitimacy, regaining credibility, and that starts with protecting the users.
Boatwright says Twitter and Facebook have also taken similar steps to regulate bullying and hate speech. The idea is to make social media a happier environment, to keep people liking, sharing, and logging on. Brandon?
All right, Cole Sullivan on the story tonight. Thank you very much.